Welcome, NACSMA members. This is our continuing series with contact center professionals. Welcome, Mark Carrier, Managing Director at Marketing Tactics. Welcome, Mark.
Oh, that's hello, Stephen. It's wonderful to be back. I appreciate the opportunity.
In our last interview, Mark, you mentioned that most companies don't effectively train or coach their team leaders to successfully lead their teams. How should they do this, Mark?
Well, we all know that team leaders are the backbone of any call center, and having effective team leaders is crucial to allowing us to meet our goals. And of course, you need to have team leaders with the right characteristics to begin with. But to create truly amazing team leaders, you need an effective training process so they can clearly understand their role and get the practical skills, resources, and tools they need to turn underperformers into top performers, who consistently achieve and, meet their goals and KPIs every month. And, many call center managers provide some ad hoc training sessions every now and again. And that's usually after somebody's kicked their butt because of the poor performance of the call center, or they bring somebody in to rev up the team and get them all fired up and, send them back excited in that. And, sure, they pick up a few things and maybe implement them. But, how long does that last? Not long enough. When you think about all the money that they pay and, the time spent away from the floor, it drives you crazy. At least it used to drive me crazy when I was managing all the call centers. And a lot of that thinking is it's basically tick and flick, problem solved, but it's not really. And and if you're ever going to solve this problem, of not reaching your targets regularly every month, you need to develop an effective team leader training program that lays out all the structure and tools that team leaders need to make sure that they can get their team members to perform. And it's a process that becomes part of the culture.
So tell us about that process, Mark. What are the elements that go into that process?
Well, basically, over the years, I've really come down and I find that there's 9 key elements. And, most people would probably feel that, they know a few of them. But the first most important one is getting the right person to begin with. If you've got the right person to begin with, even if they don't have all the skills, you can easily train those to them. So it's a lot easier, getting them the skills, much better than having the right person than not having that person. The other one is effective time management, teaching them how to use their time effectively, developing a coachable call structure. So that's something that they can use to, train their team to follow. Call monitoring and calibrated scoring, really important to identify which areas need help, people need help in. Conducting skills audits are very important, and you rarely see people do that. Creating coaching plans, very rarely do you see a formal process for that. And of course, product knowledge and systems knowledge, but not the typical product knowledge and systems knowledge that covers, the things frontline people would need to know, but also those things relative to what team leaders need to know specifically, in terms of reports or even HR issues and things like that.
Perfect. So when you talk about the right person to be a team leader, that's really difficult to really make that determination. Can you really maybe fine tune what you really mean by that?
Yeah, absolutely. Over the years, I've come to realize, especially, having owned a call center myself, that, all team leaders are not the same. Team leaders are created, they're not born. And, but the interesting thing is that successful team leaders have particularly characteristics and traits and practices that they use that, set them apart from other team leaders. And, like I said before, before you start any training, the number one priority is to get that right person to begin with. And, the key to selecting the right person is understanding which of the traits and characteristics and practices make them successful. And, as I said, obviously you want the right person to begin with from the beginning. And, actually I've created over the years and refined a scoring model that I use with my clients and people that I train with. And it identifies 43 different characteristics, traits, and practices that they lead that call center managers and senior managers can use to score their existing team leaders to identify what areas they need help in, and also to use scaled down version to use for recruiting and new team leaders, whether they promote from within or bring them in from outside.
Perfect. Well, Mark, I really appreciate the time today. We've really learned a lot in this discussion, and we look forward to future discussions with you and about your processes.
Okay, well, thank you. I really enjoyed our time today. I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you, Mark.